All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in. Again, we like to see you if it's the barn, the garage, the office, wherever. Have us on in the background. We got a lot going on, and we're having fun. So let's take a look and see now that we've been up and running for about 45 minutes. What do we got going on in our markets? I'll click on corn, and that's really kind of caught up to where we were overnight. Really, July's down 4.5 cents to 445.5. Again, that's 0.75 cents off the low, about a 5.25 cent range. So that kind of sums it all up for you. The D's is down 5.25 cents to 464.5, and that's just what? That's one tick off the low of the day. We got about a 5.75 cent range going out there. That's corn for you. Let's move on to the soybeans. We don't like that corn board, and we're really not going to like the bean board. July's down 20.25 cents to 11.59.5, and again, that's a 1.25 off the low of the day. And we're working on a range that's over 20 cents, close to 21 cents, 20.75 cents. So that's not good. We got a trading heavy here is what they'd say. November's down 18 cents to 11.3175. That's a half cent off the low there. And again, we've got about I'm going to call it 18-cent range-ish, a little bit more than that, 18.5. We'll see. All right, that's what's going on in beans. If we move on to the Chicago wheat market, all right, this is uncomfortable. July's down 19 cents there, 5.9375. That 6 handle is in the rear view. And again, we're only we're a penny off the low of the day, and we've got about a 17-cent range-ish, right? We've got D's down 17.25 cents to 6.33. That's 0.75 cent off the low there. And again, that's another 16-cent range we're working on there. All right, that's wheat in Chicago off anywhere between 16 and 19.25 cents. Ouch. From Chicago, we go to Kansas City. Let's take a look at the hard red. That's down a full 20 cents up front in July. 607.5 is last. A half cent off the low of a 19.5 cent range. How about that? That says it all. D's down 18.25 cents. 636.5 is last, and that is on the low of the day. And again, that's another one that's working on a 16.5 cent range there. Let's move out from a hard red in Kansas City to the spring wheat in Minneapolis. 11.5 cents lower in the July. 644 evens last on the low of the day there at an 11-cent range. Let's pick out D. That's down 12.75 cents to 672.25. That too is on the low of the day, and that too is working on about 11.75 cent range, almost 12 cents. So that's the spring wheat in Minneapolis. If we go to the cotton, this is ugly. 249 points lower in that July to 68.48. Still about 19 points off the low of the day there. Dees is down 179 points to 70.35, just 35 points off the low there in Dees. All right, let's bring in our next guest analyst. Maybe he can turn our frown upside down. That's going to be Mr. Ben Hushon. He's with the mill. Ben, again, another bad joke, but you're a man outstanding in his field. Let's have it.
Well, it is awfully close to Father's Day, and that would be a dad joke there, Scott, I would say.
Right. That's exactly right.
Certainly, good morning to everybody. It is a beautiful day, and since we talked last Tuesday, we've had a lot of dry weather. That's kind of become the common theme in this area. After all the wet May, of course, in agriculture, we're only satisfied when the weather changes. We're never quite satisfied with what we have. An awful lot of hay still being cut. I didn't want to show you any pictures, quite frankly, of that because most of it, as it lays on the ground, is brown. Just again, everybody wanted to cut it weeks ago. Probably two things that are on the top of most people's mind right now. The slugs seem to have finally dissipated, so soybeans are finally growing, the second, in some case, third replant. Corn top dress. That's the big story right now. Any corn that is knee-high to waist-high, very common in this area, especially the Chesapeake Bay watershed, which we are part of, is to split that application of nitrogen. Just a reminder, it's not just simple as splitting it up. When you run into long dry spells like this, you better darn sight have something on there to protect that nitrogen from going up in the air if we don't have rain for these 8, 10, 12, 15-day periods that we're currently going through. And a little sneak peek on next Tuesday, right behind me, we'll likely be talking about wheat. Don't know that you can hear it, but when it's blowing and it sounds dry, it is really close, as you would know, Scott.
Well, you're right, and that's interesting that you say that. And I also saw some weather earlier today, or actually all day. You've got a little bit of a hot spell coming your way right now too, don't you?
We certainly do. And an awful lot of farmers will tell you typically the hottest weather always arrives as the combines start in wheat and they have to start baling straw. So we're headed into the mid 90s on a routine, and this will be the hottest stretch. Each day will likely be the hottest day we've had so far this summer.
All right, great stuff as usual. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Ben. Ben Hushon, he's with the mill. We're going to go away and we're going to pay some bills, and we're going to come back and talk more livestock with the guy in the cow jacket right after this.